Welcome to the Holding Time podcast. Here we discuss breastfeeding in all its complexity, the ups and downs, the challenges, the triumphs. Whether you're expectant, a new mother, or simply interested, I hope you'll appreciate the incredible warrior women who are featured in this series.
So I've got a 23-year-old, 17, 15, and then the 2-year-old. So I was 20 when I had my first. I'd never seen anyone breastfeed before. I wasn't really aware of it, but it just kind of felt natural and normal to do. He took to it really well. He was really greedy, but I had a lot of pressure from my friends to give up, so I'd give up quicker than I'd like to now. We all had babies at the same time kind of thing. It was strange but they had just a little bit before me, and they all formula fed and didn't understand breastfeeding. They didn't ever try, so they didn't get it. So I kind of felt uncomfortable a little bit around them because they could speak to each other about how their babies were and sleeping where I never had any sleep. Yeah, and they also wanted me to go out, and it's much more difficult to do things like that. He never took a bottle or anything. It was harder to do stuff, so that's why I kind of gave up. And I was young, and I did want to go out as well. 8 months I did. I'd have liked to have fed him longer now. He says to me now when I'm feeding this 2-year-old, he's like, didn't give me 2 years, did you, Mum? Could have fed me longer. Because I'm telling him all the time the benefits why I'm carrying on to try, and they're the same. They live in this society, so they think breastfeeding's weird, and especially as she's 2 now. And I'm like, no, it's got this benefit, it's good for her, she's comforted. And then he's like, yeah, you didn't do me long enough, did you? He's only joking though. Alexi was born with congenital heart disease. Straight away was taken off me. I was told I wouldn't be able to breastfeed her because she'd go straight to the NICU, and I had to have a section, so there was that space. And then they said, you don't know how poorly she'll be, then she'll need the surgery, you won't be able to feed after surgery. And it was just really negative, everyone's position on it, and I really grieved that I wouldn't be able to feed her. And then when she was born and in NICU, a nurse there said to me, you want to feed? Do you want to breastfeed her? Don't worry. She took the tube out, the woman. She went to the NICU where the nurses had been telling me, don't get her out, don't hold her, don't try and feed her, you'll confuse her. So she took the tube out and she said, Michelle's going to feed the baby, she's going to come back every time you ring her. So just ring her when the baby needs feeding every 2 or 3 hours. And it was brilliant, and I just fed her then, from then on. Just from her intervention. The rest of them were like, no, don't try and feed her. She's got the tube. You just pump and give it to us, because I was pumping. She was amazing. Absolutely amazing. But people seem to not even have the instinct. I don't understand, because it's totally my instinct to want to feed, which is why when they said I wouldn't feed Lexi, I grieved it before she was born. I grieved for months when they were saying, it's not going to happen. You won't be able to. You can possibly pump and we can use it. But I don't know why people don't have that instinct anymore. And having the confidence, because you can't see that bottle of liquid go in and how much the baby's taking. But that's something I never thought about, because luckily my first, he grew like a weed, and he was like greedy. Because I'm in breastfeeding groups now on Facebook, and all that they're worried about is the baby getting enough, and I'll have to top it up. And all this topping up thing that's going round, and it's hard. You get some bad advice, I think, and I never asked much advice with him, because if I'd have asked advice, they'd probably say give formula, because that's mostly the advice people give, isn't it? Anyone like my family and friends, it's not as though they had problems and they couldn't do it, didn't have any support. They just decided, it's crazy. They feel breasts are sexual and shouldn't be used for babies. I am guilty of trying to hide it as well, because I'm quite shy, so I do feed her in public, but I try not to, which is bad, because I'm not showing anyone else that it's normal and it's good, because I know that people are embarrassed about it around me. I'm a radiographer. I'm a mammographer at the moment, so I do boobs. And when I had her, the Christmas after I had her, I went there for like the Christmas do before COVID hit, and I needed to feed her. And do you know what? Everyone was like, do you want to go in this room over there? And I was like, oh, if anywhere I should be able to feed her and no one bat an eyelid, it's there. But I couldn't, and no one was comfortable either. And I was like, oh, it's so bad. I do feed if I'm in like a restaurant. I try and shove myself in the corner and feed quietly, because I do try and I do want people to see it and normalise it, but obviously as discreet as I can be.
Thanks for listening, and thanks to everyone involved, our funders, Cheshire and Merseyside Women's Health and Maternity Programme, Arts Council England Lottery Awards for their support, along with all the amazing mothers and partners who have helped to make this project happen. You can find out more about the project by visiting holdingtime.org.